So the problem we have today is that we have been brought up to believe that Yoruba language is a vernacular, it is inferior. The white man who said that does not speak Yoruba. If somebody comes from my village and sees me at the University of Lagos and speak Yoruba to me, the attitude is that your primitive sister is here. So for a long time now, the credibility of your being a civilized person is that you must speak English. You are enlightened. You are civilized. Because English is the language of the civilized people. Yoruba is vernacular. You know the meaning of vernacular? The language of the primitive people, which is not structures, which is nothing. So who want to speak vernacular? I remember I paid fine with my money for break school. When you speak vernacular, you pay. You are not allowed to speak vernacular because to show yourself as an educated person. But my worry, I know some people share the worry. I don't know who will tell me any culture in the world where the children are educated in a foreign language. You get to Germany, I lived in Germany. German is the language of education, from primary to the university. France, Britain, Japan, Chinese. Why is so different? Probably our problem is this place that we don't know the meaning of education. To be educated in Nigeria is to be able to speak English and write English. But I think writing and reading is a secondary thing. If you look, I've tried to look at the meaning of education. Education is a process of passing your knowledge, the knowledge of a people from generation to generation. Now, if my father wants to pass the knowledge he has to me, what language will they use? Secondly, there's one thing that I found in my Western education. Knowledge is supposed to be improved from time to time. My father will teach me something in the hope that I may improve on it. But when you read, people wrote on Africa, especially in Yoruba, they said in Africa we don't improve knowledge. That what our father tells us is what we continue to say. Professor says so. Professor Apia is from Ghana. Professor Mudimbe is from Zimbabwe. And he said our problem is that we teach our children in our language and we make them repeat what their fathers. I think the problem I have is that Yoruba seems to be extraordinary and different. I am not saying they are wrong. I have evidence that they are wrong. Yoruba people say, Ogbon Odun ni were eme. Now, Ogbon, wisdom this year. It doesn't say Ago. Where is madness. If knowledge can change beyond recognition and become madness, the people know that. So how do they think that the knowledge they give their children must be retained? But I don't blame the two of them. They don't read Yoruba language. They have not come across what I said. And for you to say the language is primitive, for God's sake, you must know it, you must speak it. Let me stop at that. So the problem we have today is that we have been brought up to believe that Yoruba language is a vernacular, it is inferior. The white man who said that does not speak Yoruba. Now, my duty is to find out whether what he says is right. I go and study Yoruba and I come back and tell him that my language is better than your own. The Yoruba man wants you to speak his English language, he must destroy your own. He must promote his Japan, the Chinese, and they have invented so many things. They speak their language. They teach their children. Those of you who believe that English is better, you have been educating your children. What have you found? What have you invented? There's no language that is perfect. Study your language, identify the one that is useful, and take away. But leaving it, not speaking it and learning it, you are killing it, you are committing suicide. And the question is, why is it that we are not speaking our language? Anybody who comes up and says we should not speak English, we should speak Yoruba, doesn't understand. One, this country is made up of 253. Unless you are saying we should break up. If I speak only Yoruba, how do I communicate with others? So we take English as lingua franca. But that does not mean you should not know your own language.